This video is sponsored by Willard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your service today. We want the smoke. Week 1. Remember, I said this last year. Week 1, all bets are off. Everybody wrote the Cowboys off. No chance to beat Tom Brady in Tampa and all this and all that. And it came down to a bogus penalty and a field goal. Oh, I feel so much better about week 1 this year. So much better about week 1 this year for a multiple number of reasons. Julio Jones or not, I can give a damn. Ain't got nothing to do with Tampa. Everything to do with Micah Parsons. That's one person. Yeah, it's one person, but he's a different type of person, number one. Number two, I also like where we're at on the back end. I talked about this on Vacha's show yesterday. I like where we're at on the back end compared to where we were at week 1 last year. You're talking about year 2 of Dan Quinn, year 2 of some of these other young guys. It's just a different year, a different vibe, a more confident team going into that season. But oh, Micah Parsons. That is the main reason why I'm excited about facing this team week 1. He won't be used like he was used last year. Last year, opening the game, first game of his career, right? Of course, Tom Brady was going to try to take advantage of him, especially when you drop him back as much as he did. Micah dropped back 29 times last year. 29 times in the opening week. Third most all season. If there was a team where you don't want Micah Parsons week 1 or early in his career to drop back, if there was a quarterback you didn't want, to go against where Micah's in pass coverage early in his career, it's Tom Brady. And we did that. Maybe because we didn't know yet how to use Micah Parsons, right? We didn't know his abilities until the injuries happened and whatnot. Oh, that's a different story this year. An entirely different story this year. You won't see Micah Parsons drop back 29 times. You just won't. Greg Cosell, he went on NFL Network. What is it called? NFL Today. I can't remember exactly what it was. Total Access. He went on Total Access. And he talked about Micah Parsons and how he believes Micah Parsons is the best edge rusher in the NFL. Listen to Greg Cosell talk about that real quick. He briefly touches on week 1, very briefly. And then he talks about, how will the Cowboys utilize him is the big question.
And what we'll find out, we may not find out until we get to the opening game of the season against the Bucs, is how they plan to use him. I thought when they moved him essentially to defensive end a year ago due to injury, I thought he was the best edge pass rusher in the NFL for about a 5 or 6 week period. And then, of course, players came back from injury, and they did not use him that way quite as much. So I'm curious as to what they'll do, because this year they're going to get back a draft choice from a year ago, Jabril Cox out of LSU, who was essentially a sub-package linebacker. But they also drafted Sam Williams in the 2nd round, and he's an edge rusher. And he was the only edge rusher I saw last year on tape in college who got the better of Charles Cross from Mississippi State. So we'll see what they do with Micah Parsons. We know he's a dynamic player, but I think he's truly at his best as an edge pass rusher, and I'm curious to see if they'll use him that way on 3rd down and in long yardage situations.
Yeah, it's sort of a double-edged sword, because the great thing about Parsons is that he's so versatile. He can be put in so many different positions, but where is the best one, the most efficient one for their top success on defense? Now,
they both touched on something at the very end there. Greg Cosell said, will they utilize him on 2nd and longs and 3rd downs? Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind Micah Parsons is going to be used in that way this year. And then she mentioned, where would be the most efficient way to use Micah? I'm going to ask this question in here real quick, and I think I know the answer, but I personally believe the most efficient way to utilize him is to continue to use him as a wild card type of guy. But I get from a fan standpoint where some fans want to move him full-time to DE. I totally understand that. And if the Cowboys were equipped a little bit differently at the linebacker position, maybe I'd feel differently. But I'm going to ask you guys, Micah Parsons, linebacker, edge, or, like me, both? Linebacker, edge, or both? This video is brought to you by Willard Heating and Air Conditioning. Willard is your go-to destination for air conditioning, heating, air quality, insulation, ductwork, and more. They've served the DFW area for over 30 years, and with their 100% money-back guarantee and 24/7 emergency service available, it's no surprise they have the best client reviews in the business. We know how brutal these summer months can be without the proper AC, which is why you need to call Willard Heating and Air Conditioning today. They'll keep your home cool with the highest air quality with the guaranteed top-notch customer service. It's only getting hotter here in Dallas, so schedule your service appointment today at willardac.com.